Hello friends, I am Krishna Kanjani from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. Welcome to the online lecture series on kinematics and theory of motion. In this session, we will learn about chapter number 3, that is velocity and acceleration analysis. In previous session, we have learned the velocity analysis component, where we have learned two different methods. First one, that is relative velocity method, and second one, instantaneous center method. So in this session, we will learn about the acceleration analysis. Okay, so to learn this acceleration analysis, first we have to learn the motion, or we can say acceleration diagram. Okay, so let's start this session with acceleration diagram for a link. Okay, so let's consider a link AB, which is having point B is moving with respect to point A. Okay, so over here in this diagram you can observe that with respect to point A, point B is moving. If we consider that it is moving with angular velocity omega and angular acceleration alpha. Okay, so in that case we have to draw the acceleration diagram for this link. Okay, so now we are familiar with the first rule, that velocity of any rigid link is perpendicular to the line joining these two different points on this link. Okay, so if you consider over here, let's consider link AB. If you consider this one as your link AB, so the velocity of this AB link will be always perpendicular to the line which is joining these 2 points, that is AB point. Okay, if you consider intermediate point C in between, then again the direction will be always perpendicular. Okay, so in this way we can identify the direction of velocity. Now we have to learn the direction for acceleration. Okay, so now acceleration of any body will have two different components at any instance. Okay, so the first component, that if we consider this body is moving or rotating. Okay, so if we consider with respect to point A, point B is rotating. Okay, so in that case this rotating body will generate a centripetal force, or we can say centrifugal force, and due to this centrifugal force the body will try to move in outward direction, or we can say over here for this link AB we can say that point B will try to move in outward direction. So due to that the acceleration will be generated, and this acceleration direction of this acceleration will be in inward direction. Okay, so in this way the first component, that is the radial component, or we can say centripetal component. So if any body is moving, or we can say is rotating, then the centripetal component will actuate in that system, and due to this centripetal component, it's a radial component of acceleration, that if we notify acceleration as A and radial component, that's why R of this link BA, or we can say acceleration of point B with respect to point A in radial direction. Okay, you have to remember this notation because it will be helpful while solving the numericals, because in that sketch you will draw different components. Okay, so in that case this notation will help you to identify different components. Okay, so first we have to learn this notation, that A for acceleration and R stands for radial component. Okay, so acceleration of link B with respect to A in radial direction, acceleration component in radial direction. Okay, now we have learned that centrifugal force, if we consider centrifugal force Fc, that is equal to mv square by R. Okay, so now in this case if you want to calculate acceleration component only, okay, so you have to eliminate this mass, so you will have a relation v square by R. Okay, so this is the simple equation, that radial component of acceleration is equal to v square by R, where R stands for radius, or we can say length of link. So over here AB is the length of link, so we can say v square by AB, where v BA square, we will mention that velocity of B with respect to A, because we want to calculate acceleration of B with respect to A. Okay, so in this way v square by AB, that is the first radial component, if you want to convert it into omega or angular velocity component, then we have relation v is equal to R into omega. So if you replace v with the value of R and omega, so you can say omega square into R square upon R. so that will give you omega square into AB. So you can use any of these two components, but in numerical we will always use this term, that is radial component of link B with respect to A is equal to V square BA upon AB. Okay, now that is the first component, radial component. Now second component, which is termed as a tangential component. Now while a body is moving, or we can say it is producing translatory motion. So in that case we have learned that the velocity will be perpendicular to the line of joining these 2 points, or we can say velocity is perpendicular to AB. So due to the direction of velocity, we will get acceleration component also in that direction, and that component is known as a tangential component. Okay, and that is given by tangential component A of link BA is equal to angular acceleration alpha into length of link AB, that is alpha into AB. Okay, so in this way, by using these two components, okay, so over here for this link, if I want to sketch the acceleration diagram, in this case we can say that for link AB the radial component will be in downward direction, so I can sketch like this, that from B, if you consider, now notation B dash we will use for acceleration and small b notation will be used for velocity diagrams. Okay, so for any link, if we will use capital notation, then it is its original, or we can say configuration diagram. For small notations we will use in velocity diagram, and small letters with dash, that is b dash, this notation we will use in acceleration diagram. Okay, so now over here b dash to a dash, but first we will get the radial component. So over here, if you can say that this one is radial component r of link BA. Okay, now second component tangential, which is moving in this direction. So radial, now second component tangential. So a tangential component with respect of link BA will be in this direction. Okay, so now combination of these two will give us the final acceleration diagram. So over here, if we join these two lines, that is a dash and b dash, and that will give us the final acceleration of link AB. Okay, so in this way we can sketch acceleration component of any link. So over here, as we can refer that a dash and b dash, so radial and tangential component, combination of these two will give us the final acceleration component. Okay, now two fundamental information that we will remember to solve the numericals. First, that if a component is only producing rotary motion, or you can consider that for in case of crank, if you will consider the crank only, so in that case only rotating component over there. So for only rotating component you will get only tangential component, that is 0. So in that case your system will have only a radial component and your tangential component will become 0. Similarly, if a body is making only a translatory motion, or we can say it is only moving in one direction only, it is not rotating. So in that case your the component of your radial system will become 0. Okay, so simply you can remember that for crank your tangential component is 0, and for slider your radial component will be 0. Okay, so these two basic rules will help us in solve the numericals. So let's solve one numerical based on acceleration diagram. Okay, so in this system we will have been given that link PQRS is making a 4-bar chain with PS link is fixed. The length of various link PQ, that is 62.5 mm, 175 mm. So various lengths are given of this 4-bar chain mechanism. The crank is rotating with 10 radian per second in clockwise direction rotation. Okay, so now you have to remember this direction also. Okay, now we have to draw the velocity and acceleration diagram when the angle QPS is 60 degree and Q and R lying on the same sides, and we have to find the angular velocity and angular acceleration of these two links. Okay, so first let's sort out this data. So from this data we can say PQ, QR, RS length are given. So PQ, QR, RS and PS lengths are given. Now this length is given in mm. So we will convert in meter so that we can calculate the velocity and acceleration components in meter per second as well as in meter per second square components. Okay, so now another data, that is angular velocity, omega is given. So now from this data, from angular velocity, we can calculate the linear velocity, because we have a simple relation, v is equal to r into omega. Okay, so over here velocity of qp is equal to, or we can say velocity of q link is equal to omega qp into r, that is length, and which is pq length, and pq length is given 62.5, which is in meter 0.0625. so we will get the linear velocity of link pq. Okay, now let's sketch first configuration diagram. Okay, so let's draw the sketch of this mechanism. So to draw this sketch, we have to use the scale, because in this diagram or in this mechanism, the maximum dimension, if you will refer, then it is 200 mm and the smallest dimension is 62 mm. Now you can sketch 62 mm on your A4 size sheets, but it is quite difficult, or your diagram will be larger than your expectation if you will use the same scale as 200 mm, or you can say that 20 centimeter line or length of link PS. Okay, so we are reducing this scale with 1/2, or we can say we are just making using half scale, or we can say that we are using 1 mm drawing is equal to 2 mm actual. So here over here your all dimensions will be half from that given dimension. So first we will sketch, let's sketch PQ link. Okay, so PQ is inclined, PQ and S, where PS is fixed. So let's sketch one PS line which is having 200. So over here by applying scale it will be of 10 centimeter, or we can say 100 mm. That is your line PS. Then PQ, which is 62.5. So that half of 62.5 and at angle of 60 degree, that will give you position of point Q. Now after getting this, after making sketch at 60 degree of PQ and PS, now QR and RS. Okay, now angle, other two angles are not given, but length is given. So over here QR length is 175 mm. Okay, and second one RS length is 112.5 mm. So you will apply half scale, and after applying a half scale, first consider QR length. Okay, so take your rounder and put pointer on point Q and make arc of QR length on this sketch. Okay, so you have to simply make arc of QR length. Okay, and similarly another point, that is with RS length, make S as your center point and make arc. So over here this intersection will give us point R. Okay, so in this way, by applying this arc method, you can locate this point R in your 4-bar chain mechanism. Okay, so in this way you can sketch your configuration diagram by simply applying the arc method in this way. Okay, now let's solve this numerical. First we have to calculate angular velocity. So for angular velocity calculation, we have to sketch a velocity diagram. Okay, now for velocity diagram we need velocity. So now in this mechanism we will have they have given velocity of PQ, that is 0.625 meter per second. Okay, so we will use this input data. So first velocity of QP is given, but it is in 0.625 meter per second. So we have to apply once again one scale. Okay, so we will use scale for velocity diagram. So over here if we consider 1 meter per second is equal to 100 mm. So over here 0.625 meter per second, that you have to plot as 62.5 mm in your velocity diagram. Okay, so let's sketch the velocity diagram first. Okay, so let's consider velocity of link PQ. So the direction of velocity of PQ will be always perpendicular to its motion. Okay, now perpendicular we will have two options, either in upward direction or in downward direction. So another data, that is rotation is given in clockwise direction. If you will refer the data, then over here the 10 radian per second input of crane, and that is in clockwise direction. So we can say it is moving in clockwise direction. So we have to sketch in such a way that your point P, if you will locate over here, then your Q point will be perpendicular to this PQ. So in this way, perpendicular to this PQ and in downward direction, and with the length of 62.5. So over here you will get point Q. Now second point, your QR point. So in this mechanism, QR line will be velocity of QR will be perpendicular to this QR line. Okay, so this line you have to sketch with starting point as Q or R. But in velocity we have Q point already in our velocity diagram. So we will start our sketch with Q point in this way, but we don't have exact dimension. Okay, so we will use first dash line. Okay, so over here by drawing in this way a dash line, you will identify the direction of velocity of QR. Now another one, that is direction of velocity of RS. Okay, so that will be perpendicular to your RS length. Okay, so we can simply say that it is somewhat in a horizontal direction. Okay, so and starting with point R or point S. Now in this mechanism we have P point as fixed point, and similar S point is also termed as a fixed point. So P and S both are considered as a single point. Okay, so we can start with your S point and in horizontal direction. So to sketch in horizontal direction, this intersection point will give you point R. Okay, so in this way we can draw velocity diagram for this mechanism, and this method of velocity diagram is also already we have learned in our previous sessions. Okay, so by using this fundamental you can sketch the velocity diagram for this mechanism.